I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Yes or no? Did you ever take banned substances to enhance your cycling performance?
Yes.
I had no prior knowledge of the planned assault on Nancy Kerrigan.
I am deeply sorry for my irresponsible and selfish behavior I engaged in.
What's up, guys? Welcome back. Oops the P, Gallerati, Lynch. We're doing it. We're sitting here and we're living our lives.
Oopsie P.
Oopsie PP. How you doing, Mr. Lynch?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm good, man. Did our honeymoon chat inform any sort of decisions that you were planning to make? Were you like, oh yeah, I'm glad we did this? Did you have any takeaways as a honeymoon planning man?
I'm curious when Victoria listens to the episode. She hasn't yet what her takes will be, but one of my takeaways was we could maybe cut down a day or two if it means that we can stay at a place similar to where you and Hill Dog got to stay at. A lot of our places are like, it's camping, and that's nice, but like we might look at like some more glamping options.
Interesting.
So that we can enjoy our downtime a little bit more.
So your safari stuff is not glamping at the current iteration?
It is. We have options between like option A is really nice, option B still very nice, but not nearly as nice as option A. And I want to make option A as possible as possible.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah,
and I agreed. And like, what's the duration that you guys are aiming for?
2 weeks.
Nice, very solid.
2 weeks. Time it up so that we come back on like a Friday or a Thursday. We can readjust to the time zone.
Right.
So I have no updates since I've seen you last. Our planner is in Japan right now.
Oh wow.
So in about a week, I can share some more details, but slowly coming together, and I'm excited about it.
The time difference is 8 hours?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And so we're going to wrap things up in Zanzibar, which I've been just watching videos and doing research on. Looks very pretty.
Yeah, it's supposed to be sick.
I have something for you.
You have something for me?
Yeah. This was given to us.
Oh, wow. Sick. This is dope.
By our friends at Nabes.
At where?
Nabes.
Nabes?
Nabes.
Oh, nice. Nabes, like any IGHBS.
Yeah. They make some Brooklyn-based hats. But the spelling, it's upside down. and that makes it really cool. So they dropped that off, and they wrote a nice note just saying that they like you. They like me.
That's so nice, dude.
So
thank you guys. Thanks for hooking the boys up. Rocking the hat.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You know me, bro.
It looks fresh.
Very fresh, dude.
It came to a sad realization today.
Let's hear it.
I bought this winter jacket maybe 3 years ago, and I'm coming to terms with that it's probably on the second half of its life cycle.
That's not even that long ago, though.
I know. I don't think the durability is as much a priority today as it has been in the past. Not every company operates like LL Bean, where things are going to be around forever. And I just love that jacket, and I noticed a scuff on it. And that just shows that it's not going to be here forever. And so just a little dent in the armor made me upset.
Do you have it with you?
Yeah.
Can you grab it?
Yeah, I'll grab it.
I'm curious about this. Because to some degree, like winter jackets, like they'll get scuffs, they'll get stains, but like you can sort of fight through it. I just wonder how bad this situation is, and also how high your level of tolerance for these things is compared to mine. All right, so this is it's appearing to be sort of like a dark blue.
It's gray.
It's gray, okay.
Gray, black.
Gray, black, blue. But yeah, okay, gray. And so it has a scuff.
Okay, so here's the scuff. Back here, the material, you can feel it right here. There's a grazing that happened with it.
Got it.
And you can't wash that out. It's not
I can't
a big,
see it though.
I know, but you can feel it. You can just feel the wear and tear. It's not that I think the jacket's not deemed like worthy to wear anymore or it's embarrassing.
Right.
It just goes to show that this isn't a forever jacket. And if I want it to be a forever jacket, I need to not wear it or treat it very delicately. And I've done that with pieces of clothing in the past, and then you just don't get to enjoy it. You don't get to live in it. And I made the conscientious decision that I need to live in this jacket.
Good.
There's a pocket inside that I did not use for years, and I started using it a lot in the last 6 months. Now, this is a fabulous pocket, Julia, because you can fit a notebook, you can fit a real book. When I'm on my way to improv, I put my book in here and I read like a whole page on the way. And it's a good pocket. I haven't used it for the first 2 years. I've used it a ton over the last 2 or 3 months. And I can just, it's very durable. It's a high quality jacket, but I can just feel, you know, it's sagging a little bit. Kind of like when you pull your sleeves up, how it gets a little loose. And so this is starting to loosen up. Still going to work great, but it's just a friendly reminder that this jacket I'm not going to have forever. And I don't think they sell it anymore. So I'm just having a tough time coming to terms with that.
So this is a good time for us to use some of the lessons we've learned in the last episode. So, you know, this jacket appears to be in very good shape to me. I understand the things you're saying, like the pocket losing a little bit of its like elasticity, and you can sort of feel this scuff on the back. And the jacket's designed to be light, which is what's good about it, but it also makes it fragile.
Mm-hmm.
So you're like, okay, like I love this jacket. I am just dreading the day when it no longer is usable.
Yeah.
And what I would say to you is potentially worth just crossing that bridge when you get to it. I like this initiative that you've set where you're like, I'm going to fucking drive it into the ground. Great. I think that's a good idea. I know you're not asking for my advice, but this is what's coming to me. And it's sounding like we're pretty aligned with the approach.
Yeah. I'm glad. I mean, I brought it up. I was curious at least with some of your thoughts.
Yeah. No, that jacket looks great. It looks great.
Thank you. And it's fantastic. It's insulated. Look at this sleeve. Like it catches your sleeve so that this your shirt sleeve doesn't slide out. It's a fantastic jacket, and it's still going to be here. I'm still going to have it for a while. But it's just, when you see a little scuff, it's just a friendly reminder that good things come to an end.
They do.
I wish you know, Ruby was here with some more metaphors to share on its behalf. But even this too, you know, there's a stain that, you know, this will get washed off with water, but that you see that like cum stain there. It's not cum, but
sweat or salt or something.
It's a stain. I also am leaning on the pole on the subway with it. And I just didn't do that before, but I'm wearing the jacket.
Things. You can fix that. You can get it dry cleaned. Like you can keep that thing's got legs left.
This isn't the end of the world. I'm not freaking out. Like it's fantastic and it's still being great for me. But it's just like, you know, a friendly reminder that like things come to an end. And so I've just been made aware of that with this particular jacket for the very first time. Indeed. And so that's just how it be.
That's just how it be, dude.
That's just how it be.
That's simply how it be.
Yeah.
But there will be more jackets. And sometimes it's funny. Like I have been in scenarios where I cling on to this system that I've set up in the past where like, say it's like a phone where like I get a new phone and it doesn't sync properly. And like, I can't import all my old settings. A lot of the times I end up liking the new setup better than I like the old setup. So like, you know, at the end of the day, you very well may easily be able to either replace that or get the new better coat when the time comes.
Yeah.
I'm a guy, I've had the same coats for forever. Like there's one jacket that I have, all the zippers are broken. I need to like find a thing to just put in there. I'm sure like any dry cleaner will maybe have it. I need to like do that. I haven't done it, but none of my winter coats have zippers anywhere. It's like
anymore.
No, I'm holding. They don't have they have zippers, but they don't have the lever to pull the zippers. I'm literally holding the zipper thing and like having to do all these and I need to just get that fixed and I just haven't.
Yeah.
Sometimes shit like that can be such a pain in the ass.
Mm-hmm.
I'm usually good at that stuff too, but for whatever reason.
Yeah. You can get by just pulling it up. Once you start losing like the tacticality of your fingertips and like you struggle like on a swipe up that you previously could do on the first attempt, that's when it's maybe more worth your time to go and get that little tag attached to it.
Also, same thing as this jacket. One of these jackets that I have is like very nice and it's like designed in a way that's light, but it makes some of the pieces fragile. Like there's holes in most of the pockets. So I've needed to like figure out which pocket is like, you know what I mean? Which pocket is okay to go in, and I need to just like patch them. But again, I just haven't gotten around to it.
Yeah. You can get Polar Express if you do that. That's a lesson learned in 2004.
Indeed, dude.
So, but yeah.
We had an email, a fun email. I'm going to actually also say this, guys, please subscribe to not only our channel, which assuming if you're listening to the show right now, you are subscribed, but to my personal channel. I'm trying to do a video a month the entire year. I just dropped a cool like retrospective of one of my Ecuador videos that I never released. And I got some cool ones coming down the pipe. A couple videos I made in Florida. I got an Alaska video, et cetera, et cetera. So I'd love it if you would fucking smash some like buttons for me and hit me with a sub because I'm really trying to lean into this in the new year.
If you guys are like in 2025 trying to like feel things, like if you want to be moved, like that's where you would be recommended seeing Giulio's channel. Oh, but if you don't want to be like feel being moved, if you don't want to feel emotion, if you don't want to feel like you're experiencing life, like don't subscribe to Giulio's channel. If you're looking for that,
If you want to feel nothing,
please do. But
subscribe.
if you want to not feel anything, then don't. But you should if you want to feel life, because it's fantastic. Giulio's shown me some cuts of some things that haven't come out yet. Stunning.
Thank you, Lynch.
It's got a pulse.
I appreciate it. I'm excited.
It really
to
does.
Show you guys, Lynch. That's very kind. We got an email here that I'm going to share with you guys. So, Happy New Year, Ryan and Giulio. I've been an Oops listener since day one. I love Ryan become a bigger part of the pod.
Thank you.
I was thinking about Giulio and Francis's flight competition and how it should not only be the two of them, but become a pod-wide contest. I like this. Unfortunately, only made it to 27 flights in 2023, but as I'm writing this email on January 10th, I'm starting the year strong with 7 flights, 2 new countries. I've always loved traveling, but I've never been inspired to become a solo traveler until listening to Giulio's accounts. As my time in the Air Force has come to an end and I have nowhere to be until I start college in August, I've set a goal of visiting 24 new countries in 2024. That's fun. That's fun. Let me get to the point. I actually have 2 questions. How do you feel about going to Myanmar right now? Most people I talk to about it seem very worried about the political instability, but it seems doable to me. But you would know better than me. 2, I know you've talked about it before, but how do you go about finding local guides? Are there any Facebook groups you might recommend for it? Finally, please see attached a photo of me rocking some Oops merch in Pokhara. Hell yeah. In Pokhara, Nepal, at a statue of Shiva in the foothills of the Himalayas, and my cousin and me a little after sunrise. Also, if you ever plan a trip to Nepal and want to guide, my cousin there will be more than happy to set you up. Wow, this is actually very helpful. Just for shits and giggles, I'm 25, single, and looking for a travel partner. At Alaire Travels on IG. It's ALAIRE_travels. Let's get this guy a girlfriend. Good for you, man. This is all exciting stuff. I love the sounds of it all. Be curious to hear what your sort of plan is, like where you're planning to go in this 24 for 24 situation. Love to see it. And I can answer these questions for you.
I'll take a break on this one. I'll let you answer this one.
It's funny you mentioned that because I've looked at Myanmar and I've heard sort of a similar thing. The thing that I don't love about it is there's sort of like an ongoing conflict that theoretically seems as if it can kind of change at any time. And it's unclear to me if it's regionally specific or not. I sort of like found a better plan as I was looking into it, so I didn't look too thoroughly into it. I mean, my advice, which is always my advice, is to talk to people who have either recently done it or people who work there in helping people arrange trips and see what they have to say. Most of the time, I guess this isn't true all the time, but most of the time those people will be honest with you at the very least about what a trip might be like. They're not going to be like, oh, it's completely fine. And you get there and it's like fucking insane. Like I've found that usually people are pretty good about describing it. But if you want the best account, the move is to talk to other people who have recently done the trip. There are some Facebook groups and stuff. Hit me with a DM because some of them are like kind of tight communities and I can't just put them on blast on the pod. So yeah, hit me up on the side. And I will be hitting you up about the Nepal stuff, by the way, because I think I'm going to be there soon. So anyway, awesome. Good luck to you. Let us know what countries you're going to. 2025, health is wealth, brother.
Health is wealth.
At the end of the day, saving a little bit of money over a lot of bit of time can really make an impact, and you won't even feel the impacts of it on a day-to-day basis, which is so cool. And to me, that's one of my goals for the year, is just to plan slightly better for my future. There have been years where I've been able to more, where I was honestly making more money. And years like this one, where even if I'm not quite making as much money as I did in like the peak years, this is an up and down business. And there's no reason why I can't still save a bit for my future. And that's why I think Acorns is such a wonderful tool.
Today's episode is sponsored by Acorns. Acorns makes it easy to start automatically saving and investing so your money has a chance to grow for you, your kids, your retirement. You don't need to be an expert. Acorns will recommend a diversified portfolio that fits you and your money goals. You don't need to be rich. Acorns lets you invest with the spare money you've got right now. You can start with $5 or even just your spare change.
It's really, really great. And to me, yeah, I love the spare change situation. It's the thing that doesn't matter to me. Like if my coffee is $5.71 or $6, that is effectively the same exact thing. So why not take that 29 cents and invest it? And over time, as these transactions start to add up, suddenly you have this little nest egg that's starting to grow, this acorn, which grows into a tree. It's way more impactful than being like, okay, I need to set aside this amount of money at the end of the month in my budget. Like I don't even budget for this. I just live my life and then suddenly I've been saving money, which is really, really cool. And over time, it really does make an impact. So anyway, something that's worth trying out if you haven't.
So head to acorns.com/oops or download the Acorns app today to start saving and investing for your future. Paid client endorsement. Compensation provides incentive to positively promote Acorns. Tier 1 compensation provided. Investing involves risk. Acorns Advisors LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. View important disclosures at acorns.com/oops.
Yeah, you heard me on the phone just before. I'm fighting a parking ticket.
Yeah, Giulio waited on the line for 9 people ahead of him. Let us know if you would do that.
Well, so this is the thing. I got a ticket and I'm realizing now why I got it. So I paid a toll. Not a toll. I paid a parking meter at 7:59 p.m. and I got a ticket at 8:01 p.m. To me, it's like cut and dry. I paid the ticket. Why am I getting charged? So what ended up happening is I put one wrong letter in my license plate. It was a rental car. It was just a typo. Like I hit with my thumb and it must have hit V or C instead of V, which are next to each other on the keyboard after Lynch just examined. Mm-hmm. So anyway, I disputed it. That was rejected. I got a court hearing, which I didn't show up to, but I submitted all my evidence. It was upheld. And I literally called today. And I'm like, what am I not seeing here? Like to me, 7:59, 8:01, how am I still getting this ticket? By the way, ticket's only for $30, which I know this is not a good use of my time. I understand that I have spent more than $30 fighting this. But, and not to get all fucking on my high horse here, but like, to me, this is oppressive government behavior. You guys are elected. You've been put in place by the people to govern properly. And this is a scenario where you're taking advantage of people. I did everything. I thought I had done everything right. Turns out, all right, I got a letter wrong. I guess shame on me. I should be more careful and I'll probably just pay the ticket. If I had shown up to my assigned hearing that was in the middle of the day, maybe they would have been nice and thrown it out. It's just $30. I think I can live with paying the $30 now knowing that I was at fault in some way, even though it's fucking bullshit and fuck you, Columbus, Ohio. Fuck you.
This has been going on for a little bit, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think what I'm going to probably plan to do is figure out a way to cost the city $30 the next time I'm back. Doing something.
Damage? Can be.
Could be.
Could be.
Or maybe it's just some, like, I don't know. I'm going to tie up time and resources for the city government in some way that I can and make their lives expensive in some way, even though I know the burden's going to fall on the taxpayers. Sorry, taxpayers, you haven't done a good enough job electing your people and setting up your infrastructure for government.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You're a fighter.
I'm a fighter, Lynch.
With a story to tell.
Yeah, I've been dealing with way too many bureaucratic things lately, and I'm really looking forward to putting that part of my life behind me.
Yeah.
So on top of the citizenship stuff, which is still ongoing, I have a couple warm, I call them lukewarm leads of people looking into things for me. The Italian consulate stuff is still probably the most promising route. If I were to theoretically find somebody at the Department of Health, I might be able to get them to like make the amendment for me, but it seems like that might be more difficult. And I'm also less likely to know that kind of person, it seems like a random municipal worker. And I wonder if they could even do it, even if, you know what I mean? Could they just be like, all right, fine, fix it for me? Like, I'm not sure. So if anybody knows anybody who works at the Department of Health in New York, let me know.
I think a mutual. I bet there's a lot of mutuals.
I don't know, dude. That's sort of like, that is sort of of these like fancy sort of like entertainment, Manhattan, blah, blah, blah circles that we run in. Like, I'm not so sure, to be honest, if we're going to have mutuals that like work in Center Street at the Department of Health. We might.
We'll see.
And hopefully I'm wrong. And hopefully maybe one of your boys or friends or whatever, or somebody hits us up. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not super optimistic about it.
We'll see. Let's let the episode where you talked about it breathe a little longer. Let it dissipate out into other people's phones a little bit longer, I think that maybe by the time
People
we're
are starting
done
to mess
recording today, you might have a DM. Possibly.
It's possible.
Because, yeah.
So anyway, don't worry, Lynch. I wasn't about to carry on about this again.
No.
I know that's not what you're doing. But.
No, dude. It's your words carrying on about it on the last episode when you talked about it. It was like therapeutic. And also, I'm sorry. I thought it was funny. It's bad. It's so horrible that you're dealing with that. And just the detail, I'm sure some of us couldn't quite grasp on to the specifics of what you were saying, but your emotion and your inflection in your voice and the desperation and the anger coming out of you, we have a semblance of what you're going through, even though none of us have necessarily been trying to do that. And it's so awful that you have to laugh at it.
I appreciate that.
So.
Okay, but so that is greatly appreciated because I agree it is funny and it should be funny. But I'm glad that was your takeaway there.
Yeah.
But listen to the other bureaucratic processes that I'm involved in right now. And once these are done, theoretically I won't have to deal with them anymore. So I'm hoping that I can just move on from that and go back to only needing visas on my passport. So first thing is the citizenship thing. Okay. Second is the parking ticket, which, okay, shame on me. I don't need to be dealing with this. I guess we can cross that one off from the list. I'm going to pay that once we're done recording. The third is I need to get a new passport because I'm out of pages, which is fine because theoretically you can stamp on top of stamps. But if you need a visa, you actually need a full open page, which you're going to need for Tanzania.
Yeah.
So
I have plenty of space.
And it becomes unclear because it's like they say a full blank page. And to me, it's unclear if that means 2 pages or 1 page. And some places are more descriptive about it than others. And then the problem with some of this government stuff too is that sometimes they're not clear about it, and then you might end up being fucked. So I don't want to take any chances. I need to get a new passport anyway. I went to get a use like an agency, and I realized that there was actually an easier way to do it. So I've set that up. But anyway, that's a thing that can normally be complicated for people, but based on what I've been dealing with, it was actually quite simple. So that's number 3. Number 4, update, I am stepping down from the board of the Local Literacy Project, the charity that I was involved in that was supporting the Afghanistan stuff. It's unclear to me whether or not they are going to continue supporting it in the future. I'm starting my own foundation that will support that as well as some other things that I'm doing. So there's that. Wow. But as my sort of parting gift to the foundation, I am helping them file their federal and state taxes. I filed the federal. The state requires the charity to be registered, and our registration is still pending with the state. We're registered 501c3, all that's all good. But it's taking forever, and I can't figure out why. So we've been uploading, we've been doing this, we've been doing that, and I'm just waiting that to be done so that I can file and then finish all that. But that's been annoying. It's a thing that I'm checking on. So there's that. That's 4. Number 5 is starting this new charity, which I'm filing, getting EIN numbers, going to the IRS, doing
EIN numbers,
dealing with all that shit. So that's number 5. Number 6, I've applied to get approval to use a drone in one of the destinations that I'm going to. So I've had to file that through the government. I'm pending approval on that. So these are a lot of my days have been spent doing this bureaucratic nonsense, and I'm just very happy to be done with it all.
They're all done?
No, they're not.
But
none of them are.
Except at least you know what needs to be checked off. It's not like anything's being added anytime soon.
So ticket is in good form. The passport's in good form. The state registration thing in theory is in good form. I just don't know. And I don't know how to check in on it. I don't know why it's taking so long. Hopefully it'll be done soon. I feel good about my charity. I'm I have a service helping me. So that should be all good. Mm-hmm. And the drone thing, fingers crossed. So the citizenship is the one sore thumb still. And I got a couple months to figure it out. So
yeah, dude, I'm getting depressed. You mentioning taxes, the commercials are coming through on TV. They're coming in hot.
You get stressed?
No, I just don't want to do it. I don't want to pay taxes. That's not what I'm bringing up. I'm just saying that that's what time of year it is.
Yeah.
It's sad.
It does suck. And my advice is just to be on top of it. For me and for you as well, it's tough to chase down all of your 1099s. So I just try to make an ongoing list throughout the year, and I'll go back through it and just be oh, I never got this one because I move every year. So I'm I am just going to submit a form with the earnings that I've made where I don't have a 1099 to support it, just because it's bad to underreport. As long as you report, you can take deductions, but you don't want to underreport your earnings because then you can get fucked.
Audited.
And then if you report under a certain percentage, they can back audit you like 4 or 5 years.
No.
Which is a nightmare.
No.
But I've been pretty good at like keeping my shit fairly organized. So if I were to get audited, knock on fucking wood, hopefully it wouldn't be a huge problem.
Yeah. I spend 1 day a year just at my desk with a notebook, manually logging it into a book so that I have like proof. I don't know why I don't do it on the Google Sheet. I just write it down because I'm doing a lot of proportionate math, and I just spend the whole day going
Long-handed
through
division.
Yeah, going through all of my my statements and then doing it that way.
Interesting. So what do you mean your statements? Your bank statements? Oh, wow.
Also, dude, working independently, like you got to track people down. And like, there's some people that still owe me money besides our little thing that we did together. There's other people, and like, it sucks. Just fucking pay me.
Oh.
And like, this is beyond like your payment cycle. You just like are being lazy. Like, pay me.
Yeah, I wonder
Pay
I
me.
always wonder what the hang up is with that. I know that there's like, oh, well, this department has to send it to that department and that department has to send it to this department. But it almost feels like it's set up so that like money coming in versus money going out is set up in a way that's like advantageous to the company where it's like, I just paid for this thing for you, but I'm actually not going to pay you for it for 60 days. Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah. So I'm learning. It's annoying having to
It's perilous.
to get people and like, oh yeah, I'll check on that today. And like a month later, I'm like, hello, fuckface. Hi, it's me. You think I was just going to not respond or not follow up? Makes me angry.
Well, guys, Lynch and I are trying to spend our leisure time lately catching up on
the
all things
Oscars.
Academy Awards. For me personally, my journey is I like to watch the Best Picture nominees, the Best Foreign Film nominees, and the Best Feature Documentary nominees. I try to do it every year. And I am currently underway. Lynch and I have both been chipping away at them. Lynch sent me sort of an update at one point, but where are you at right now, Lynch, with your viewing, on your viewing mission?
I'm at where I was last, which is where I've seen 2 of the films.
You've seen Dune 2 and The Substance?
Yes. I thought that A Real Pain was on the list. It's nominated for some other awards, but it did not make Best Picture
It
nomination.
got nominated for Academy Awards?
Yeah, Kieran
Yeah.
Culkin for like the actors and stuff.
I have that screener. I haven't watched it yet. I gotta check it out.
Eisenberg maybe was nominated for director. This is his
Jesse
directorial debut. Yeah. But that was a great movie. That's like that was definitely a what's it called when you don't make it, but it's worth considering.
Honorable mention.
An honorable mention. I think A Real Pain was probably 1 or 2 slots away from being nominated. So I like that a lot. I saw Dune 2 and I saw The Substance, which was my favorite movie of the year.
Wow.
Arguably of the decade so far.
Wow.
It was so powerful.
Oh my God,
and
I
just
can't wait to see it.
amazing.
I can't wait to see it.
And it was also like about women, and like that's important. So
Awesome.
I mean, if that's a problem, like I'm sorry, I just care about women in my life and how they see themselves. Awesome movie. I hope Demi Moore wins Best Actress. What have you seen so far? Because you've been texting me.
Yeah, that's great, dude. I'm excited to see that one. I mean, I saw Dune 2, which I obviously loved. I would say I've only seen 4 of them so far, and Dune 2 is probably still at the top. I've also seen Anora, which I thought was amazing. Really, really good. Like, you know, when there's just a movie that's made in a way that's like really fun. It's like a saga, like an Uncut Gems, or like those. What are those brothers? The Safdie brothers kind of movie that's just kind of like fun and exciting, and there's all these problems, and you're on this mission. That movie Dope was like that too. This felt a little like that, and it was a really fun story about like an area that I'm interested in. Anyway, I really liked it. Thought it was great. I thought the main girl, Mikey Madison, was amazing. I saw Amelia Perez, which I thought was really great too. And then I saw Wicked, which I didn't personally really care for. I don't know if have you seen it? I'm assuming
No.
since, yeah, I didn't really care for it.
What about it?
It felt a little bit like just like a kid's movie. I mean, Ariana Grande, Cynthia Erivo, both incredible. There's obviously like, and it's great to see 2 very talented people like that, like get the opportunity to showcase those talents in a mainstream way. Like obviously Ariana Grande is a great singer and she's like great at doing impressions. And I also laughed that I name dropped her on the first time I hung out with Hillary because I just hung out with her the week before NBD, while our boy PD was dating her. But anyway, so it was cool to get to see them do their things. The iconic songs, like, and I would say also like the last like 10 or 15 minutes is like really awesome, obviously. But yeah, it just felt like a kid's movie. So like to me, if you're into that kind of thing, you probably like it. As far as going for the Academy Awards, like for me personally, I would put it in the sort of not up to par category.
Gotcha. To its defense, it's PG.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was surprised that Challengers did not get a single nomination.
Interesting.
Nothing, not score.
People were sort of upset about that, it seemed like.
Yeah.
Which surprised me a bit. I definitely liked it, but I thought it was like, I personally thought it was a little overrated.
Yeah.
But
It's just
I think I'm in the minority there.
like a movie like that winning is so good for original stories. Like for that to not be nominated, that's its own thing. Like you can't compare that. Like you can compare that movie to other movies, but like that's an original story, an original screenplay, and that's what people crave. They want originality. They don't want reboots, and they don't want spin-offs, and they don't want sequels anymore. You want an original story that's its own thing, that lives on its own. I thought that movie, I can't compare it to many more that I've seen, and for it to not be nominated, I thought was kind of bad because it was so well received, and I thought it was a great movie.
It was definitely really fun too. Like it was just like a cool movie, and it's like the way they did it. I agreed. It was like, I mean, it was hard because the tennis was just so janky. It's like hard to be a tennis player and watch a tennis movie where everybody's terrible and it makes no sense.
I bet, yeah.
But
it was a good theater experience too.
Yeah, agreed.
The payoff, without spoiling anything, like there was like a release of laughter, but there's so much tension. It was great.
Yeah, agreed.
And it was sexy. Oh,
yeah.
It was horny.
Dude, agreed.
That's
Very
important
sexy.
to me.
Yeah, sexy's good. Horny. Honora's sexy too.
I know. I heard it's really funny too.
It's great.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that.
It's really good. The other thing that I've seen, I saw Sugar Cane, which is a documentary that's about sort of like the existence of natives. And I don't want to spoil it too much, but they're sort of just seeking answers and justice for like things that have happened in the past. I thought it was pretty powerful and pretty good. So
it's on Hulu.
Worth checking out. It's also on Disney Plus, I believe. So that's that. Sexiness. I had a thought, but I don't remember.
I will
important.
Had to swallow a little bit of pride this week.
What happened?
So we pay for quite a few streaming services. I pay for HBO, and when I first got the subscription in 2017, it was ad-free. It was always ad-free. The ad tiers have been added recently, and my thought was HBO is luxury. It should never have ads. When it started adopting ads, I vowed to never switch, and I'll just pay the premium because it's a premium platform in my eyes. It's plateaued and it's evened out, I think, amongst the rest. I think Apple's number one right now, but that's besides the point. And Victoria wanted Disney Plus, and there was something on Hulu that we were interested in watching. And then I saw a promotion saying that you can bundle HBO, Hulu, and Disney Plus with ads for $3 cheaper per month than what I was paying for HBO price on itself. $18 a month. And I was paying, I think, like $22 a month for HBO. And I sat there and I decided to do ads with HBO.
Where'd you find this promo? I need to get this promo.
Hopefully it pops up on your phone.
Because I have Disney Plus with no ads, and it's $16 a month. I might as well just get, and I barely even use it.
Yeah.
Fuck.
So we do that now, and I forgot about it, and I'm watching stuff on Hulu with ads, which we typically do when we had a subscription before, whatever. Watching something on Disney Plus with ads, which we've done before, which I was used to, so it didn't matter. And then I was sitting down one night to watch a 25-minute episode of this anime show called Scavenger's Reign, so I could tune out and just relax into the night. At about 7 minutes into it, in the middle of a scene, a brutal ad just came in, and it ruined me because that is not what I know HBO to be, but it's a decision that I made fiscally. And so that hurts right now.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Just being honest, these problems. I always have to come back and defend this. Problems are problems. There's big problems in the world right now, but a problem is still a problem, and that is a problem for me.
It just makes you
upsetting.
Sad.
Sorry?
It just makes you sad.
Yeah.
It should.
It just was it was the sacred thing. HBO is so sacred. And now and Victoria was like, do you want to watch Game of Thrones? And I was like, let's wait until we're house poor to like watch Game of Thrones. That's a big commitment. I don't have Sopranos time anymore.
Right.
And especially with those ads.
You've never watched Game of Thrones before?
I watched 2 seasons when it came out. So it's like a decade ago. So I have to rewatch everything.
Yeah, I started it when the pandemic began.
Yeah.
I was literally just walking around the house with an iPad watching it all day. Like, I got through it in a few weeks and it was incredible. What a great show.
Yeah.
But yeah, besides, I'm trying to think of like what new good shows HBO even has. Penguin and House of the Dragon. Besides that, what else good stuff is there on HBO?
Lotus season 3. It's coming out in a few weeks. They just dropped the trailer for that.
February 14th.
Did not watch
right?
it. I don't
February
recommend
16th.
watching trailers, thanks to our friend Giulio here. I have adopted that. It's one of the big
it's
things.
really good.
Yeah, it's a big, great takeaway from getting to just meet you. I enjoy things and I see it for the first time in the episode, not on a teaser trailer. They have that. I don't know. Apple, I think, is king.
So why? Why?
I just think
What do
they have. So the way the subscriptions work right now, it's going to change in the future, but everything's in 4K, like real 4K, not UHD, not fake
Right.
4K, not you got to pay an extra $1 a month that they sneak into
like
the bundle.
Netflix. I paid $25 a month for Netflix.
Yeah, now
It's
yeah,
fucking
and
bullshit.
they added that, so they reduced the quality on purpose just to make more money, America. But Apple's cameras are just fantastic, so that just visually it's stunning, and I just think shows like Ted Lasso, Shrinking, those 2 shows are just like that's therapy, and that's a CBD.
You love Ted Lasso?
Yeah, that's CBD. That's a CBD gummy on screen. Like it is just fantastic. And there's just diversity and love and comedy and tears, and they blend it all together. Every demographic, age, race is covered, and they're all best friends. And it's just this not real world that feels so real sometimes. And I love those 2 particular shows. And
Is
then
Shrinking the Harrison Ford show?
yeah.
It's really good.
He's hilarious, and you just like you just enjoy the fuck out of it. It's just like this is playful. Everyone's so
watch that.
funny.
They have Severance too.
Severance is
How's season 2?
That's my top dog. I'm holding off. I'm gonna rewatch season 1 with Victoria, but I watched the first episode of season 2. I loved it. I think that show is just again can't compare it to anything else. Ben Stiller is in his daddy era.
Oh, he's in season 2.
It's his show. So it like he is full on daddy mode. And in the past, no one really knew about the Apple shows because they never spent any money on marketing. But I'm sure maybe you saw in Grand Central Station right before season 2 of Severance came out, they had the entire cast sit inside a glass box, and they acted as their characters in the office,
interesting.
and people were just walking around.
That's
and they were
clever.
there for a couple hours. Adam Scott, Ben Stiller was there to watch. I forget the other names of the actors, but they were all there. The guy who plays Falcone in the new Batman movie, he's one of the main characters.
The new Batman movie or in the Penguin?
Movie. He's not in.
Oh, in the Batman.
He's not in.
Okay, got it.
I think the series.
Got it.
But it's a great show, visually stunning, very funny. And then you got
Slow Horses I like.
Slow Horses. I haven't watched that yet, but they just have great shows, and no one really knows about them. They're starting to finally spend money on marketing.
Did you watch that show that has Ron Weasley in it that was like an M. Night Shyamalan show? You look it
No.
up. It's called like The Visitor or something. The first season was really good. I think the second season was like I stopped watching it because I didn't like it, but that's like a random good Apple TV show also. I need Severance, dude. I did really like it.
Servant.
The Servant. Yeah, that was I found season 1 good of that. The Severance I think I remember really liking it solidly. I wasn't like excited for the new one to come back, but I think I'm going to have to throw that down on my list of shit to watch because I do think that ultimately I will enjoy revisiting it.
Yeah. Anybody that didn't watch it in January of 2022, just consider yourself lucky. You didn't have a 3-year gap between season 1 and season 2 because, not really a spoiler, but the cliffhanger that they leave you on at the end of season 1, it gives you that pulse, gives you that emotion, that feeling. And I remember when it cut to credits at the end of season 1, I was just like, oh my God. And that's I chase that feeling.
It can be frustrating when then they just completely reset it in season 2 and you're like, we're going to build back up to the same exact point again so that you guys can keep making seasons. Fuck you. Fuck this. I'm out. I'm not saying that's what's happening. I haven't watched season 2, but
Yeah.
I get frustrated with TV. This happened to me I'm watching the show The Lioness.
The Lioness.
Zoe Saldana and a couple other people, whatever. So there's the first season 1. There's this like unbelievable build up to this unbelievable moment. It's like so exciting, so invigorating. I'm only on episode 3 of season 2, but it's like a completely new story, and even some of the like best characters from the first season aren't in it, which is like really it's hard for me actually.
Wow.
And I'm hearing from people that this new storyline is amazing and like whatever, but like, are you serious? Like that it's over and now I'm never going to hear about this again. So I can get frustrated with TV.
Yeah.
For this reason.
Yeah. The show that I listened to, they suggested this anime show called Scavenger's Reign. And it's like a sci-fi about the spaceship that gets hit by like a comet or something. And then people go in pods and they land on this planet. Some people die. Some people survive. Scavenger's Reign. It's on HBO and it's on Netflix. I watched it on Netflix, even though it's an HBO original, because there's no ads on Netflix. So see, our HBO is already getting dirty. It's just like any other streaming platform now. But it got canceled after 1 season, and they said that it was like a perfect show. And because I know that there's not going to be another season, I was like, well, it's like a limited series. I can bang that out. And I'm enjoying it so far. I don't really watch anime.
Yeah, same. But I've watched 1 or 2 things and I got really into them.
Yeah, it's like beautiful. It's colorful. So I like that. But
have you watched Demon Slayer?
No. Is that anime?
Yeah. It's
no, I know nothing else about anime. I watched Code Lyoko when I was little and Yu-Gi-Oh! And that's the closest thing to anime that I ever enjoyed.
You know, it's a perfect show. There's only 2 seasons of it. I don't fucking remember what it's called, but remember this. Do you know what I'm talking about?
The fish?
It was like an HBO show. I forget what the fuck it's called. It's called The Something. It was, dude, it was... How can I not remember? It's the wacky. I think you would love it.
Not Rainbow Fish.
No, come on. But like, they do this like goofy dance to like, that's like, fuck. Hold on, I need to figure this out. It's called the OA.
Oh, this was supposed to be big,
dude. It's amazing.
It's over now, right?
It's over.
This was supposed to compete with Westworld.
It was so good. It was so good. It's such a good sci-fi show. So anyway,
check it out. I remember they did I remember the marketing for that. They had people in whatever chamber.
Yeah.
Is it like there's like chambers and something like that?
Thing, yeah.
Yeah. So.
I just watched Black Doves, which was fun. It was sort of like a night agent kind of show that's like not believable in any way, but it's like fun still. The flight attendant is kind of like that.
Yeah.
I think the night agent is back for season 2 now.
I saw recently added her new season little tag underneath it. I haven't watched it, but that's good. Couple other Apple shows just to say that I still think it is king. The Morning Show.
Oh yeah,
I love the Morning Show.
It's incredible.
And then the limited series that they put out, Presumed Innocent with Jake Gyllenhaal. I thought that was fantastic.
So there's a movie,
Harrison Ford, right?
Which is the same exact story. So it's like harder to get into it.
Yeah. Did you see it before?
I did watch it.
So I didn't know about the movie until after the show.
It's like a movie that my mom always wanted me to watch.
Yeah.
One thing that frustrates me about my parents, I love them so much, but they can't understand that Apple TV Plus and the physical Apple TV are not the same thing. So my mom will be like, how do I do this?
Tough.
And I'll be like, on Apple TV. She goes, we don't have Apple TV. I go, yes, you do. She goes, no, we don't. I'm like, but
you have Roku.
And then I'm like, you have the physical Apple. And then once we start getting to that point, they are just like, don't know what I'm talking about. And then we reset every single time. So like, and it's to the point where I actually don't even want to like force them to change. I now just try to like present a better way of doing things to them and let them figure it out on their own. So they all came over. This was actually really nice. Hillary's parents and my parents all came over and they were hanging out and Hillary cooked for them. And it was like such a nice night, like so much fun. But anyway, they were watching a movie and I have all the screeners on my TV because I'm in SAG and I have a code. I put it into the apps and I can just watch them. So they come over and they're like, how are you doing this? I'm like, with the screeners. They go, do we have that? I go, yeah. And they go, how do we do it? I go, Apple TV. They go, we don't have Apple TV. I'm like, yeah, yes, you do. You have it and you download the app and we just never get past it because if I start to get like this, they get stressed and I don't want to make them feel stressed because I'm like showing them that they don't know how to function in the current world.
Yeah.
So I just let it go and I hope that they will call me and be like, hey, did you? I'm like, absolutely. Here you go.
Genius Bar G.
We'll see though. It's not working so far, dude.
Yeah. Doing the TV stuff with my parents is tough too.
Why didn't they just name it Fuji or something? Or like a type of Apple? I know Macintosh was already the computer. Name it whatever.
Or the Apple Network.
The
Or
Apple
Core.
Network.
Core.
Core.
Yeah, the Apple TV, Apple TV Plus, Apple TV Plus Pro.
Dude.
It's confusing.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. But the Apple TV, the physical device is one of the best things that you can buy. Those little computers that they put in those cheap 60-inch TVs that you're getting on sale suck. They suck.
Did you ever get into a show that got canceled that no one else really liked? Do you realize later?
Dude, that's such a good question. I don't know. Name any that popped to your mind. I'm trying to think.
I can think of two. One was it was like $14.99 or something. $18.99. It's on Netflix. They made one season of it. I watched the whole thing, and then they bailed on the show, which I found frustrating as fuck. And then,
I've seen this. Is this the Bermuda Triangle?
No.
Okay.
I don't want to ruin it in case anybody wants to watch it. And I will say that the twist I didn't find to be particularly satisfying necessarily, but I was definitely willing to watch another season, and then it didn't happen. And then another show, and this is so random. It was an HBO show called Tell Me You Love Me. I don't know how I started watching it. It must have been on after Entourage or something. The days where you literally tuned into HBO at the time the show was on. Random fucking show, dude. Tell Me You Love Me. I think there was 2 seasons of it.
Yeah.
And I got really into it, and then they canned it.
That sucks. You get
That's
invested.
a random ass show because, dude, there's random shows out there, and it makes me think that there's shows that literally no one watches except for the dude's mom.
the family.
The dude's mom. You were great in that.
Ugh.
Thanks, Mom.
Looking up, looking through just a recent list after 30 seconds of checking, there was one show that I really liked. I wasn't devastated that it was canceled, but I was like, damn it. The show Made for Love.
I don't think
it was an HBO. It was an what was it? It was HBO Max, now Max.
Oh, yeah.
It was right when it was HBO Max, when HBO Max became new.
And there was also another
HBO
one.
Go.
Though. HBO Go.
But that was just like the tablet iPhone app version.
Never
it was
has anything
messy,
been more confusing, bro.
Messy. Not great for people like us trying to help our parents.
Not great for
2023's transition was terrible.
Not
but
great for
there was
that.
a show called Made for Love, and it was with Billy Magnuson. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he's been in some stuff, and I do like him. He had a small role in The Big Short. Big character here.
Is he
was in the
in-
heist movie that came out with the guy, the Gus Fring from Breaking Bad on Netflix. The one where you can watch it out of order.
Is he in Glass Onion?
No.
What else is he in? He looks so familiar.
He is in
Hit me with a list of the highlights.
Roadhouse, Game Night.
Game Night.
He's in Game Night, which is
Game
a
Night.
fantastic movie. Jesse Plemons. But this show was called Made for Love. It lasted 2 seasons. It was a weird show. High budget, weird, psych thriller comedy. Ray Romano, that Billy guy, and then Kristen Melody, who plays Sophia in The Penguin. I thought it was funny and really, really weird.
Crazy.
But they just canceled it, so that was upsetting.
Well, it's crazy. I wonder, as an actor, to what degree that moment, really hurts you. Because, as a comedian, if you post some shit and nobody sees it, more likely than not, it's just that nobody sees it. Maybe a couple of your peers will see it and be like, oh, man, his engagement sucks. And, that's embarrassing for you. But, you should get over that feeling. You're not posting for other comedians. You're posting for an audience that you either have or will have. But in that situation, somebody else was like, we have so-and-so attached. And if you put this show out and it fucking bombs, then do you get the call the next time? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't
It
know
sucks
how
because
fickle it is.
more often than not, it's not the actor's fault that it didn't do well.
Or is it?
If it is, then yeah, then
Maybe
that's
they
the
just didn't
case.
have the je ne sais quoi.
The je ne sais quoi.
Speaking of performances, though, in these movies, I thought that this Mikey Madison girl is great. I thought that Zoe Saldana is amazing in Amelia Perez.
Did she win the Grammy? I mean, did she win the Emmy?
I have no idea.
Golden Globe.
I don't know. I have no idea. She may have. And the person who's her counterpart in the movie, who I don't know what her name is, she's amazing too. And I'd say to me, those are the standouts that I can think of off the top of my head.
I've heard horrible things about it.
Really?
Yeah.
What-
Not even a political thing, because I've just heard it's a bad movie.
From who?
The reviewers that I watch on TikTok. and some podcast Victoria was listening
Did
to.
it not get good reviews?
It got like a 2.5 on IMDb.
What?
It was the least well received Academy Award nominated movie.
Wow. What is it on Rotten Tomatoes? I thought it was great.
That's it. Yeah, I'm gonna watch it. I gotta just watch it and see for myself.
So I'll say this, man. Like, it is a musical, and that's fine. It would have been a good story not being a musical, but there would have needed to be some things, in my opinion, that changed about it.
Yeah.
Because it plays like an opera, and in an opera, like, crazy shit can happen, and it's like fine. And I think that works for this movie. That's all I'll say.
Critics gave it a 74, and audience gave it a 23.
I thought it was wonderful. I mean, there's some really good, interesting nuances that they take with the musical format that I think are really cool. Where I'm watching, I'm like, well, that's sick. Like, there's like a couple, and if I start getting into territory where you think I'm giving too much away, you can tell me to stop. I don't think I am, and I'm going to try not to, but let me know. There's like there's a character who's sort of supposed to be tough, okay? The choice that they made with that character on how they were going to sing in the singing moments, I was like, that's a really cool choice. I also thought that the performance was really good. I thought that the story was super compelling. It's like very complicated and felt very real to me, despite the fact that it's this musical that is clearly just like heightened drama. Like, oh, that's really what happened? Are you serious? I thought it was a masterpiece.
I'll watch it.
I loved it.
I will watch it. I saw a clip. The director of Challengers stormed out of the Golden Globes when Emily Perez won Best Picture.
Oh, did it win Best Picture?
The Golden Globes.
The Challengers director stormed out. That's very petty.
That isn't the People magazine quote. That's my visual interpretation of the footage. So
wait, that didn't happen?
No, it did happen, but I'm not like saying like TMZ reports like that. I saw the video and he storms out.
Challengers was nominated for Best Golden Globe?
Yeah, because it was they break that up into two categories, right? Best drama and then best comedy / musical. And so Challengers was in the comedy / musical. Perez was in comedy / musical, and it won. And as soon as they announced it, you can see the director get up and
Challengers isn't nominated for any Academy Award, so
yeah,
I don't know. Maybe that's more of a consistent decision than I think. I could see the like, in a way, and this is sad, but I remember as I was watching the movie, and as you know, if like transitioning is the topic, I do remember thinking, oh whoa, like this is sad, but I'm like, this feels outdated in Trump's America. This storyline,
really,
like that's wrong.
Oh, as in like we all like we're 5 years past this.
The industry giving us a compelling tale of the struggles of a person transitioning felt like a thing that the industry would have been pushing on us before.
Gotcha.
I think it's always a compelling story, and to be honest, it's one of the more compelling stories of a person having to deal with that. Like, that feels like a obvious, automatic. You have to just make difficult choices, and you're going to have to leave things behind no matter what you decide to do with your life in that situation. So as a baseline, it's already a compelling human tale. And I was totally captivated, interested in it. But I remember being like, oh, I wonder if they were going into production today, if they would have chosen to make this movie still. That's sad. And it shouldn't be like that. But anyway, I thought it was really, really good. I loved it.
I gotta watch it along with the rest. I know The Brutalist is a big favorite right now. I'm just glad. I know I'm beating a dead horse. I'm just glad that a horror movie got nominated for Best Picture.
What movie?
Substance.
Oh, interesting.
I'm the Substance guy.
Don't tell me.
Changed my name. I'm just GIULIO and the Substance guy, and the Jesse Plemons guy, and the complaints about his jacket guy.
I didn't know that it was a horror movie. I just think it's funny that Adrian Brody, The Pianist, is like an unbelievable movie if you've never seen it.
I haven't seen any Adrian Brody stuff besides the clip on SNL where he went rogue and now he's not allowed back on.
Dude, he's not in much because he went so rogue. I mean, when he won Best Actor, he kissed Halle Berry on the lips. That was like definitely not scripted. And The Pianist is a triumph. He's incredible in it. But it's funny that he's playing this like Eastern European guy in this Brutalist movie. I don't know what any of the movies are about. I've actually done such a good job that I didn't even know any of this Emilia Perez gossip. It's nice to go in without any sort of exterior pressures or like knowing anything. It's an interesting experience.
It's parallel with your non-viewing of trailers.
Correct.
So
Correct.
I bet you get really excited if you just go into a theater to see a random movie and you don't know anything about it.
Yeah, well, it's an interesting catch-22 because it's like, then how would you find out about it? And I get that the point of the trailer is to get you interested. It is a concession that a filmmaker makes to get people to go watch it. But in a perfect world, I don't think we would need trailers to exist.
Yeah. Or just there's good trailers and bad trailers. Like The Substance, I watched the teaser and then I was like, I'm not going to watch the rest of it. After watching the movie, I watched the trailer and I was like, oh, this is a good trailer. I don't know anything about this movie based off the trailer, not the teaser trailer. Teaser trailers are showing more than what trailers used to show 20 years ago.
Interesting.
And so I'm just trying to just radically adopt the Giulio effect.
Right. Well, back in the day, dude, it was interesting. Like I've watched some old trailers when I've gone to watch classic movies. Like I watched the Poltergeist trailer for the original, and it's a really good, interesting trailer. They do it like it's a news story about, so like they don't even actually really include anything from the movie. They made like a separate piece of content as the trailer, which I thought was an interesting way to do it. And then like the It trailer for the original it just shows like the first 30 seconds of the movie, which is also cool. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. So yeah, but dude, I will say this, like that Adrian Brody pianist performance, it is so good. Where it's like, I've gotten to a point, man, where like I read this David Mamet book about acting, and like it made me like question why I ever chose to try to act. That's what I took away from it. And I was never able to unthink it. I was kind of like, oh wow, like acting is like bullshit a little bit. Like that was my takeaway.
What's the name of the book?
I have it right here. Actually, no, it's in my cabinet. I'll give it to you if you want to borrow it.
That's okay.
Read with caution.
I gotta finish the one book I'm on first. Thank you.
But anyway, so I will say that a lot of the times it's easy to sort of pull up a usable performance out of somebody for a movie, right? It's not really the place where the actor shines. If you want to see somebody acting and have it be like really impressive, like stage acting, that's like where it's at. You know what I mean? Like for an actor on a camera, like you have a director, the editor picks your best take. Like you can get a usable thing out of people, which is why like, I don't know. It seems arbitrary who ends up sometimes becoming the person who's the actor. And there's all these like different factors that go into it. I know I just sound like a failed actor right now saying this, and there might be some part of that that's true. And I still maintain that I think I'm fairly good at it when I am given the opportunity, and I'm certainly interested in doing it, but I'm just not that impressed by it. So like when I see like, that's a performance where I was like, that is like something that not everybody can do. When I saw this Adrian Brody pianist performance. I know this movie came out 20 years ago, but that's one of those that's worth watching.
Yeah. That's 2001, I think. I
think
gotta see that.
In my perfect world, like I am aware of everything that's ever been nominated for Best Picture since they started doing it. And I believe 1920, I don't remember, maybe 1935. Can you look this up when the first Best Picture? I wanted to say 1928, but I think that's too early. I think it was later. But anyway, I've sort of am aware of everything that's ever won or been nominated. And I do have this pipe dream of like watching them all.
What year did you say?
I think I said 1928.
That falls in the bucket, 28 to 29.
Oh.
It happened in 29, but it was for 28 movies, so Giulio again is right.
Well, I was looking through the list of the things that had won, and it's interesting to see like which ones are significant or what things I've seen. I'd thought that I'd seen more than I actually have. I'm like, oh, fuck, I don't know what any of these are. And that's a chore I don't really feel like taking on. Like, this is what Hillary would call an oppressive interest. Me forcing myself to watch the movie I don't feel like watching. But a lot of the time, man, a lot of these movies hold up. Like, Casablanca is a classic. It Happened One Night might be like my favorite rom-com, and it's from like 1940 or whatever. Like, there are good movies in this thing that kind of stand the test of time. But it's just, I don't know, it's interesting to work your way through them and see.
It'd be interesting. I think we'd all appreciate it. Guys, back me up in the comment section if you made a Letterboxd account so we can keep track of what movies you're watching.
Oh, interesting.
No, you don't have to write reviews. You don't have to post anything, but we follow your account. We can just see you. Like, if you watch a movie, you just log it. You can rank it. You can review it if you want to.
Letterboxd offers this?
Letterboxd, yeah. It's basically, I don't know, it's like Yelp, but for movies.
I need to do this because I used to do this with my Netflix DVD account. And now that that's been discontinued, I exported all the data, and now I just have a note.
Yeah.
But it would be nice to have it all in one place.
Yeah, I did a note for a couple of years. Only thing about Letterboxd, they don't do TV shows. They do limited series. They don't do TV shows. So it's film focus.
That's kind of nice.
It is nice. It's its own thing, and it knows what it is.
It's also hard to rate TV shows because you should actually just be rating seasons of TV shows in a way. But that becomes complicated too, because it's like, okay, do I have to take into account my broader thought of the series while I also rank the season within it? Because I might love a show but hate season 5. Do I give season 5 4 stars or 5 stars still? Like,
Yeah, because it earned it from what brought it there.
oppressive interests.
So I will just tell you, even if you don't write reviews, even if you just log the movies that you watch visually, it is so much better looking at the poster of the films on a list as opposed to just words.
Interesting.
It's just,
It also
it's
helps
nice.
you remember, because sometimes I'll look back, I'm like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
Like, I'm like with these movies that I watch where I'm like, oh, I gave that 5 stars, I guess. Don't remember what happened at all.
Yeah.
And that happens a lot with the classics. Like, I'll watch them and I'll remember, but I like couldn't tell you what happened in any of those movies, even though I liked them all. Or I liked or didn't like or whatever. Like, it's harder for me to watch movies that are from like a different era completely out of context and like remember what the fuck happened. When I haven't talked to anybody about it, I haven't seen any commercials. There's no supporting like energy coming from it other than that one time I sat down and watched it and liked it. I don't fucking remember.
Yeah.
Because I think there's a list of the 50th greatest movies of all time or something. I watched all of them. Classic. And I probably couldn't tell you what happened in the vast majority of those. So then I'm like, what's the point of even doing it if I'm not going to remember?
Mm-hmm. Then I feel like if you track it with like just a picture or anything, it'll seal some memory of it.
So the
You can
nice
always
thing
come back
about
to
it is if I were to rewatch it, I would immediately remember everything. That's literally the only thing that keeps me watching movies. That specific thought.
Mm-hmm.
It's somewhere.
It is
Buried.
somewhere, a memory door.
I
Like
have
on
to
the
watch
Keto
something
Market.
twice to remember it. Truly. Otherwise, no chance. And who the fuck has time?
I don't know if I have it in me to ever watch The Orphan again.
Why?
Just I remember it.
Oh, okay. No, I don't have it in me to rewatch anything. Mostly, to be honest. But yeah,
Only if you're watching someone else watch it for the first time. That makes it worth watching.
that can sometimes make it fun if it's one of your favorites.
Yeah. I'm making Severance a little too much for Victoria, and I need to ease off of it and just let her ride the bike on her own and see if she stays up. If she falls off, then I'm just going to watch season 2 by myself.
Yeah.
But I want her to want to watch it. But, tough partnering.
I did this with Game of Thrones with Hillary. I basically like forced her to watch season 1, and then she liked it, but then like didn't have the desire to keep watching it. And I was like, I just wanted to see her gasp at what happens to Ned Stark.
Julia, I got home yesterday after a long day being me. And let me tell you, it's taxing. I was really hungry. It's so daunting opening up a refrigerator and trying to put together a meal with these miscellaneous ingredients that I have. I didn't even have a protein in my fridge, is what I thought before I got to my front door and I saw a box. And guess what that box was from?
Hello Fresh.
HelloFresh. Goodbye, anxiety.
Yeah, there we go.
Love HelloFresh. They make dining easy. They make healthy meals easy because they deliver it right to your doorstep. All you got to do is put the pieces together like Legos. HelloFresh's 15-minute meals are done in just 3 simple steps so you can eat better this year without all the hassle. Save valuable time with fewer trips to the grocery store thanks to HelloFresh Market. That's over 100 add-on items you can add to your weekly box like quick breakfasts, packable snacks, beverages, and more.
And I didn't realize this. Maybe it's kind of counterintuitive, but the hardest part about cooking is preparing for cooking, not the actual cooking part.
Preach.
And, you know what I mean? So if you have a recipe and you have the stuff you need, that's the great thing about HelloFresh too, is it's pre-portioned. So you don't have to there's no shaving of roots that needs to occur. Like the root has been shaved.
The root
is shaved. The root is shaven. The ginger has been pre-shaven for you. And you might have to zest a lemon, but the lemon will be there. As long as you have a very basic tools in your kitchen, which hopefully you do. If you don't, I don't know what you're doing with your life. HelloFresh is for you. It's been incredible, the things that I've been able to craft. And I always love seeing what surprises are in store, whether it's something that I wasn't expecting or a classic like the pesto panko chicken. There are certain home run items in the HelloFresh catalog, and that is one of them. The panko pesto chicken, delicious. And it's been amazing the things that I've been able to cook simultaneously at the same time, and things that I've never done before. I'm cooking rice, I'm sauteing vegetables, I'm baking chicken, 3 things I've literally never done in my life until I set out on this HelloFresh journey, and it's all there for you. Anybody can do it. Highly recommend.
Seriously, we highly endorse HelloFresh. Get up to 10 free meals and a free high protein item for life at HelloFresh.com/oops10F FM. One item per box with active subscription. Free meals applied as discount on first box. New subscribers only. Varies by plan. That's up to 10 free HelloFresh meals. Just go to HelloFresh.com/oops10FM. HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit. All right, Super Bowls this weekend. We got Eagles Chiefs. Just a little flash round to wrap things up. Who do you want to win?
Kansas City.
Who do you think's going to win?
Philadelphia.
If Kansas City wins, do you think that Travis Kelce will propose to Taylor Swift?
I don't know.
During the halftime show, will we at least hear a little tease of Not Like Us?
Yes.
So you think that we'll hear at least one
I think he'll perform the song.
the whole song?
Like, I don't know that anybody performs an entire song at the Super Bowl, but like he will perform an appropriate segment that was unaffected by people not wanting him to do it.
Okay. Do you think he will include the line trying to strike a chord, but she's probably a minor?
Yes.
Okay. And then what color do you think the Gatorade's going to be after someone wins the big game?
Orange.
Okay. Cool.
I want the Chiefs. I wanted Buffalo.
Me too. I think America wanted Buffalo.
And it's sad. So like in theory, I'm fine with the Chiefs and they don't bother me the way that they bother everybody else. I have no problem with them. I love Mahomes. I think he's like a great quarterback. And you know, it's a great team. They're well coached. They're just a great team. But the fact that they beat Buffalo is bothering me a little bit, but I'm trying to be better about not responding to losses in this way where I hold like grudges against teams. It's ridiculous behavior.
Mm-hmm.
And the Eagles, I just like, I don't know. I know everybody says that the fans can be tough. I sort of agree with that. The team just like doesn't do it for me. And you know me, I like to root for like smaller markets. I know Kansas City isn't exactly like a small market the way Buffalo is, but Kansas City.
Yeah. I had a tough time deciding because I have a lot of Eagles friends. Some of them are pompous. Some of them are just good people. And then the Chiefs are the Chiefs. They're the new Patriots. They always win. You build people up just to tear them down. But then I had a phone call with my mom, and she asked me who I wanted to win. And I said, I don't know. Who do you want to win? And then she said, I want the Eagles to win. I'm done with the Chiefs. I'm done with that stupid Taylor Swift. She said, you know what, Rye? I got to tell you this. I feel bad for the quarterback's wife. Where is she when they celebrate? How come there's no cameras on the quarterback's wife? He's the one doing all the hard work, and the wife gets no attention? I'm done with that Taylor Swift. And I was on the fence until my mom said that, and it makes me want the Chiefs to win because she has no reason to hate Taylor Swift for the sake of being Taylor Swift. It made me so. I was like, "Oh, thanks, Mom. Yeah, I'm gonna root for the Chiefs."
That is funny, dude.
I was like, "Why?" And she's like, "Because I'm just done with it." And sometimes that's a mom's reason for not liking something. Sometimes that's a guy or gal or son or daughter's reason to not like something. But her reason to not like it made me love the Chiefs, and I'm rooting hard for them.
That's hilarious.
And I hope Taylor Swift has her own camera in the top right corner of the screen the whole time.
Yeah, agreed. I have absolutely no problem with Taylor Swift or with that part of the whole Chiefs thing. I think it's fun. And, you know, the reason why the quarterback's wife isn't getting the attention is because she's a private person who maybe doesn't want the attention. Yeah. Maybe she does, and she's not getting it, whatever. I guess that would maybe be slight fair, but the world ain't fair, Lynch.
Yeah.
And the one problem that I do have with Taylor Swift is that I never got our picture that we took together. And it wasn't even necessarily her fault. It was the producer's fault. May he burn in hell. And yeah, go Chiefs, I guess.
Yeah. What was that? What was that? The Gallerati Scooch? What do you call it? The
Scooch of a lifetime.
The Scooch of a lifetime.
She asked us if we wanted pictures with her, and I was like, yeah, sure. And then she's like, make sure we get these. I didn't even ask her for the picture. But I do want to know. And I DM'd her asking for it, and she never replied.
Damn. Taylor, I'm sure you're going to see this clip because it's going to go bonkers. So hook us up with that pic, please.
Moral of the story, if you're in a situation where you're not allowed to have your phone, bring 2 phones.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And that's that. Come see us on tour. I'm trying to reschedule Fort Wayne, Indiana, which I was bumped from because of fucking Rob Schneider.
Rob Schneider. This summer.
May he, look, you know, the guy's still selling tickets. God bless him. So Rob Schneider will be in Fort Wayne, Indiana now. If you bought tickets, they'll give you some sort of option to transfer to my new date, whenever that ends up being. March 8th, I'm going to be in Pittsburgh. That link should be available by the time this episode comes out. I'm not sure. But Chicago, March 14th, 2 shows, the Den Theater. I'm going to announce my special release soon. To be honest, I can do it here on the pod. Anybody who listened this long into the episode deserves to know. The tentative release date is March 4th on YouTube, on my YouTube channel.
I'm sorry. I went, I'll let you
no,
just do
you're
it.
good.
No, I'll let you say it clearly. I went while you're in the middle of delivering that in case you ever want to clip it or something.
No, I don't. You can.
Okay.
You may. I'll say it over again, I guess, just for the.
I'm not going to cut this now because you're giving your blessing. But
Anyway, March 14th, 2 shows at the Den to celebrate the special coming out. This is the place where I filmed the special as well. I plan to sell both of those shows out. So help me make that plan come to fruition. I'm then going to be at the Music Hall in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, the 20th of March. 19th of March, I'm at the Comedy Connection in Rhode Island. And beyond that, the 1st to the 3rd of May, Washington, D.C., at the DC Comedy Loft, and the 17th to the 19th of July in Charlotte at Duckworth's. Get tickets, come see Gallerati. There will be more stuff added. And as a general rule, if you live in a city and like people hit me up, they're like, when are you coming here? When are you coming there? A lot of the times, like these are big markets where there's just like hard to get good dates. So if there's a place that you want to see me and you want to expedite the process of me coming back to, say, a Philly or a Nashville, hit up the club that you want to go to see me at and just ask if I'm coming. And that will oftentimes get my email from my agents to the top of the inbox. And before you know it, I have a date. So feel free to advocate for me. And other than that, oopspodcast@gmail.com, at oopspodcast, at NotJulio. Subscribe to my YouTube. Fucking give me money. Have sex with me.
Please.
Do it all.
I want you to have sex with Julia. That'd be awesome. When we in the club, we all fam. So thanks for listening. Ryan is really polite. I got some shows in February in New York. I'd love to see you there. Had such a blast last Saturday. A blast last Saturday, Indie Club. We all fam.
Last Saturday.
So we'll see you guys later.